Hello and welcome back to the Rugby Hour, your weekly hour, or as the first two episodes have shown us, hour and a quarter of two guys talking nonsense about the rugby. I'll just substitute each week a synonym in there. Yes. I'm Hugh, I'm joined by Kieran again.
Yes, it's me again. I'm not going to introduce myself, you can listen to the first two episodes for that. I can't be bothered to do it again now. But rugby, so we're going to get into the rugby for this week, and we're going to start with some international rugby, aren't we, Hugh?
Yes, well, with international rugby back, we now have a lot more to talk about.
Oh, we have plenty.
We were just doing the Premiership games before, and that was taking us an hour and 15 minutes. So now with the addition of the internationals...
More content.
More content. We'll try and keep this to the same time. Anyway, let's get started with probably what I'd say was the biggest game of the weekend.
Yeah.
Which was England women against New Zealand women. The Red Rose against the Black Ferns. Down at Sandy Park, or here at Sandy Park, as we are.
Yeah, we are in Exeter, for those that don't know.
Obviously, the current Six Nations champions versus the current world champions.
Yeah.
Finished 43-12 to England.
I'd say quite dominant.
You'd have to say that, yeah.
I didn't watch the game, I must say.
No.
But it's looking good for the Red Roses ahead of the World Cup. So
next year.
Yeah.
But you'd have to say this was New Zealand's first game in 2 years.
Of course, yeah.
So they're going to be shaky, and they did look rusty at times. I mean, they had this opportunity in the first few minutes where they put a nice grubber through, and the centre sort of got blocked by the England defender, but didn't really get blocked. And she just sort of complained to the ref and played to the whistle because the ball actually bounced quite nicely. She probably could have scored. But
enough of a block to mitigate a 43-12?
No, definitely not. New Zealand looked rusty, but then again, at the same time, they're New Zealand.
Yeah.
They're very good at rugby.
It's still, you can't use this to predict anything about the World Cup.
No.
But...
No, this is teams...
They're going to build, and I'd like to see next year, I guess we will see, probably in the World Cup, what New Zealand are like when they haven't had a
2-year
break, and a year's enough for them to get back on.
Well, even so, they're playing
a level playing field.
They're playing England again this weekend.
Yeah,
which, you know what, if they've given how New Zealand are at rugby, a week is probably enough for them to shake off the cobwebs.
Well, that's true, yeah.
So we could see a very good game this weekend. But England were very good, very, very good. They were especially good in the wide channels.
Yeah.
Gained a lot of metres out there, good pace outside. But overall, it was, of course, a very, very strong performance from England. And a really good indicator for building towards the World Cup next year. Okay, so we'll move on from that to the first of the Autumn Nations series.
Scotland v Tonga.
Scotland versus Tonga at Murrayfield. That finished 60 points to 14 to Scotland.
It's a bigger margin than I would have expected, I'll be honest.
It's the same. This is a Tonga side that lost over 100 points to New Zealand a few months ago. Then also they had a few... it was more of a second string Tonga side. I mean, Scotland didn't have their first choice side.
Well, no.
But they had a lot of quality in that squad, and Blair Kinghorn especially had a very, very good game at 10. Very good game at 10.
And it's going to be, since the last Six Nations, it's going to be interesting now to line up how everyone's going to line up for the next Six Nations.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, for me, the Six Nations does matter more than the Autumn Nations Cup.
Oh, definitely. These are preparation for
bigger
World
tournaments.
Cup, Six Nations. Yeah. They're not meaningless because I don't believe there's such thing as a friendly match in rugby.
Well, definitely
it's like
not.
I'm going with this weekend Wales against South Africa. I'm going into that. I'm probably gonna be absolutely mental throughout the game. So, but Scotland. It's what I guess you'd expect from that game. They get a big win against Tonga, and it will be rather interesting to see how they build over the autumn. Especially with their English-based players and Finn Russell coming back in from next week. We'll preview the Scotland-Australia game a bit later. So now we'll move on to the game that I was at.
Yeah, you lucky person.
Wales-New Zealand.
How was it?
I must say, it was incredible to be in Cardiff for a match day again. There's just something special about it. There really is.
Full sellout? Because I heard a rumour that a few seats weren't being able to get sold because of allocation.
The thing is, the WRU were billing it as a sellout.
Yeah.
But a lot of the clubs had troubles actually selling tickets. Now, we did see a few empty seats, but you'd have to say that it was pretty much full. I put it up to a 98%, it was pretty much full. Again, it was incredible. I don't really even care about the result. I mean, I do care about the result, but not really. It was just amazing to be at a full Millennium it's the bloody Millennium Stadium.
Yeah.
It was amazing to be at a full Millennium Stadium again. The atmosphere was amazing, as it always is in Cardiff.
But how about the game?
I'll be talking about this from a very Welsh point
I haven't
of
watched
view.
the game, so I'll let you take the lead on this one.
I thought there were actually a lot more positives to Wales take than negatives.
Yeah.
And that doesn't sound right after a 54-16 loss against the side you haven't beaten in 68 years.
I mean, for a side you haven't... It's better than losing that by that much to a side you always beat.
Yeah, all right.
Is it not?
Yeah. But I think there are actually a lot of positives to take for us. Apart from, we'll get the big negative out the way first. Alan Wynne-Jones going off injured after 20 minutes.
Yes, I saw that, and I had that about 5-10 minute segment on the game, and I saw him going off, and is it still lingering for the Lions? Is it?
Well, it was the same shoulder. I don't think it was, because I think it came from heavy contact in the ruck, but
it was just very reminiscent.
Yeah, on his 149th cap for Wales as well.
Well, let's hope he gets 150.
Well, it takes him above Richie McCaw for most caps for a single nation. Put in his Lions caps and he's got 161 caps.
Yeah.
It is incredible how he's lasted that long.
Yeah.
But, it was...
How old is he now, do you know?
Huh?
How old is Alan Wynne?
35?
Okay, he could still get... I mean, John O'Fo is cracking on near 40 now, so I mean, if he can do it in a front row position, I think... Alan Wynne-Jones can have a...
But Alan Wynne-Jones, performing at the top level still in the second row is absolutely incredible. It really is. But yeah, he went off injured. Apparently the news is... We're recording this on Monday, by the way. So I don't know if... News will probably come out tomorrow and Wednesday. That will completely undermine us like every week.
That's happened every week so far, I think.
But according to like the initial stuff, it doesn't look too bad. And if we know anything about Alan Wynne-Jones, his middle name is Lazarus, so he should probably be back for South Africa this weekend.
Hugh is a Wales fan.
Yeah. So anyway, Beauden Barrett's 100th cap for New Zealand.
How was he? Is he still up as good as always?
Oh, he was as good as always. Got man of the match in the game. Got an intercept try in the first 7 minutes. Gareth Anscombe had the ball a bit too flat to the line, but anyway. But Beauden Barrett had a very good game, as he always does.
Yeah.
What I want to talk about, because I'm going to look at it from a weather, because you expect New Zealand to win,
of course,
and you expect them to play very well. Now, this was an understrength Wales side.
Yeah.
But there were more positives than negatives to take from it. 60 minutes, it was 16-28. That's a competitive game.
It is, and it makes me wonder if is it fitness? Is it just the lack of depth in the bench?
Well, apparently, the coach Wayne Pivac has said it was fitness.
Yeah. I mean, especially with a side like the All Blacks, they're going to run you side to side. If you're not, you have to be at the peak of your...
Yeah. Of course, missing our English-based players, that's always going to be trouble. And I think it definitely showed. I thought we did have very little squad depth, and it especially doesn't help when you got Alan Wynne-Jones going off injured and Ross Moriarty going off injured as well. Yeah. Which, by the way, we'll get on to Ross Moriarty going off injured in a second, because how it was on a red card, I do not know. Anyway, Wales did lack squad depth, I thought, but with English players coming back in, or English-based players coming back in for the next
it should only
weeks,
be upwards.
Yeah, it was. I would say this again. It was just amazing to be back because I just can't get over.
There's
it.
nothing like a live game of rugby,
No, there isn't.
especially when there's been such a long gap between.
Especially in Cardiff.
Yeah.
You've never been to Cardiff for a match.
I haven't.
Jay.
I had the opportunity and I couldn't go.
Dad's birthday. You got to go someday. You got to go because it is incredible. Anyway, 2 very bright spots for the Wales team were Tane Basham at 7, 21 years old.
We were curious as to how he'd get on.
He played very, very well. Wayne
stepping up to the next level.
said he was his man of the match.
Oh, wow.
He was my man of the match. He was
definitely the Welsh man of the match.
He had an excellent game. And, you know, with Titbrick getting on a bit and going to start to be phased out of the Welsh side, well, not yet, but especially after the next World Cup, with Navidi having injury struggles, Ellis Jenkins having injury struggles, Tane Basham at 7, that's good. He has the opportunity to make that position his own in the near future. He had an excellent.
He's got a lot of time to do it. At 21 years of age, to even be considered for the international squad of that age is a
playing against the
achievement.
All Blacks as well, and having such high praise.
I mean, even losses like these will teach him a lot as well.
But the thing is, he was just excellent. He was good. His carrying was very strong. In defence, he was good. Over the breakdown, he was excellent. He's only going to go from strength to strength from
here. If you
can
shine that much in a match where you lose by such a margin, like 54-16, you know you've had a quality game.
Joe, I'm going to really enjoy watching against the Springboks this weekend.
I'll see if
against
I can catch that
game. Against a physical
game,
pack like the Springboks. Also, Aaron Wainwright at 8 had a very, very good game. Whenever he got the ball in open space, he was just gliding through like a gazelle. He was, again, at 8 very good. And with Faletau's struggles with injury recently, Navidi is well injured. Wainwright really can make that position his own as well.
Yeah.
And, really exciting times for young Welsh back rowers.
So what would you say as a Wales supporter was the reason Wales lost the game? Was it just overall they were just not up to the same level as the All Blacks?
We had a weakened team.
Yeah.
If we had players like Dan Biggar, like Lewis Rees-Zammit in there, then I think it would have been... Also, I'll say Nick Tompkins.
Yeah.
Because he's been playing very, very well for Sarries, I thought, this season. Very well. I've really enjoyed watching him play for Sarries. And I'd have him in the Wales team starting at 12 this weekend.
Yeah.
But if we had players like that, also if Liam Williams was fit as well, you know, it was definitely Wales
I wouldn't call it fully second string.
No, but it was a weakened side against a very good All Black side.
Yeah.
Add on to that, in the final sort of quarter of the game, we started throwing the ball around a bit more, trying to chase the game.
Yeah.
Probably a bit
I feel
naive.
Chasing the game, it only works if you're...
Well, we were in it, but we started chasing the ball away. We had someone, I can't remember if it was Thomas Williams, Gareth Davis, put in a very, very poor box kick, which Will Jordan scored his about 82nd try in his 4th game for the All Blacks. But yeah, need to tighten up a bit. Because we were in the game, we didn't need to chase it.
Yeah.
Well, we did need to chase it because we weren't winning, but we didn't need to throw it around.
To force it.
No, you didn't need to force it.
You can chase it, you can try different methods, but forcing it too much is just...
Also, there was this one time in attack where we were on there we were in their 22, deep inside. It might have even been sort of 10 metres, 5 metres out.
Yeah. And
we had this penalty advantage, and we missed the most gaping hole imaginable. There were actually 2 gaping holes on the I think it would have been the open side. It wasn't even really an open side.
Were you screaming as a fan?
Because the thing is, it was sort of central.
Yeah.
So it wasn't really an open side, but you had about
left and right.
But you had about 3 New Zealand defenders covering about half the pitch.
Yeah.
And if we just went wide, instead, we had to pick and go and gave them time. It was so frustrating.
You think when there's enough space both sides, you think you can't make a wrong decision? Oh, you can. Pick and go.
You definitely can. These holes were massive.
Yeah.
They were massive. But yeah, need to identify things like that because you have to take your chances.
Yeah.
What I'm going to go on to now, I'm going to stop with the positives. I'm going to say something about Mathieu Reynal, the referee.
Oh no. Referee chat. We're getting into it. We've decided.
It is. The All Blacks are an excellent team.
Yeah.
But it is undeniable they are refereed differently to everyone else. Right. Bowden Barrett.
If you're Richie McCaw, then
yeah.
Yes.
Well, the whole team is. Bowden Barrett put in a... Wales were having a break on the right wing.
Yeah.
I think it was Owen Lane have been the winger. He throws it back inside. Bowden Barrett deliberately knocks it down. It's about halfway. It's about at the halfway line. If it goes to hand, it's going to be a line break. It should have been a yellow card. The referee didn't give a yellow card.
Since when were deliberate knock-ons not a yellow card?
Yeah, exactly.
Deliberate knock-ons.
But
if
the
you
thing is,
establish it's deliberate, it's cynical. So it should be.
But my biggest annoyance with deliberate knock-ons is they seem to give everyone a yellow card, but not everyone is a yellow card. But this one was. It prevented a clear line break.
They don't give everyone a yellow card anymore. At least in the Premiership, not anymore. But on the point of the All Blacks being ref different, I would say Southern Hemisphere sides.
No, it's the All Blacks.
I mean, there was many times in the Lions tour I felt they got away.
Well, Razzie Erasmus will have something to say about that. By the way, we're recording this before we find out the results of his hearing because he had that over the weekend.
Oh, right.
For his nice hour-long video about refereeing decisions.
I mean, I mean, do we get into that?
No.
It's lengthy.
That's for next week.
It's old news.
That's for next week's podcast.
Well, when we hear the hearing. So tune in next week.
Yeah, but Bowden Barrett should have gone to the bin. Then there's the red card, where Ross Moriarty carries it. The blindside flanker Todd Blackadder, he no arms tackle.
Yeah.
Makes contact with the head.
Was it direct to the head?
It might not have been. It might have hit the upper shoulder and.
I mean, if there's contact with the head,
but it was a no arms tackle as well.
Yeah,
he should have gone to the bin for it.
Was it like a lot of force danger?
Yes, he should have gone to the bin for it. He didn't.
Did they even review it?
Yeah, they reviewed it because it was a double tackle, and the tight head prop, shoulder straight to head, no arms.
Yeah.
So it's foul play. Should have been a red.
Yeah.
It was the most blatant red card you will ever see.
Yeah.
The referee gives just a yellow for the tight head prop. But both Blackadder should have gone to the bin, and the tight head prop should have had a red.
Yeah.
It was one of the most blatant red cards.
Did any of them get anything?
The tight head prop got a yellow.
Okay. I do find there is a trend where referees, if they say there's a double tackle and both of them are high, they never give two cards.
No.
When they're both as bad as each other, both dangerous.
But Blackadder should have gone to the bin, and the three should have had a red. But the three only got a sin bin.
And then we would have been able to talk about the new red card laws coming in.
Yeah. But it was but it is undeniable the All Blacks are refereed differently.
Yeah.
In the end...
I'll have to see more.
In the end, I don't think it would have actually made a difference. Why do you say that? No. Let's be real here.
Yeah.
In the end, it probably wouldn't have made a difference. But it's about standards.
Well, you get to the World Cup and the referee difference, it's a very bad thing.
That's right. In the Premiership, that's a red all day long. The Six Nations, that's a red all day long. I'd say even if South Africa put in that or Australia put in that, it's a red all day long. But the fact it was a New Zealander meant that it wasn't a red card. So...
Should we move on to the Premiership?
We can move on because we will move on because otherwise I'll go on about this for a while. I'll go on about this. Hold on, I need to pour a beer.
So I'll just say in the meantime, first game of the weekend: Gloucester versus Exeter Chiefs.
Friday night lights.
Friday night. I watched it. I'm sure you did too.
Oh, I missed the first half an hour because I was dropping my sister off at a party. Which, by the way, since when does she go to parties?
Well, for me, it was a surprisingly close game, obviously. Although you do have an out-of-form Chiefs team and a well-playing Gloucester team. But I felt from both sides, it wasn't like... The scoreline was close, but I don't feel it was like... So much tension like you got for the other, like a Bristol Bath on a Friday night, a close game, tension. It was like both sides were making mistakes and that's why they weren't scoring, rather than both sides putting in a big shift in defence, big collisions and everything. I think Gloucester, I mean, they took the early lead. I know someone that was there, and the consensus was Chiefs always had them for the measure of 60 minutes. Or 80 minutes, I should say. Well, since when was rugby 60 minutes? Well, that's all they really played for. But no, Chiefs, you could tell they were going to get the measure of them eventually.
Yeah.
It was just by how much and how soon.
Honestly, I felt Gloucester lost that rather than the Chiefs winning it.
I mean, they were ahead. They could have...
They didn't have a great second half, Gloucester,
No.
which is a shame because the first half they put in a very competent performance.
Oh, definitely.
And defensively, they're very good. They made like 115 tackles in the first half. It was a very good. It was a good performance. I won't say very good. It was a good performance in the first half, but in the second half, it just. Do you know what?
I thought the game opened up a bit, and for somehow that went into Chiefs' favour.
Yeah.
I just felt they were less clinical. Gloucester didn't. They made the more mistakes, the more crucial mistakes.
Adam Hastings looked a bit out of sync at 10.
I think he stood out to me as doing a lot of good things. It's just he needs to gel into that role a bit better.
He's only just signed. The partnerships aren't there yet, and he just because he left the ball behind twice in the second half, like on little passes behind the back.
Half the time
it's just that communication that just didn't seem to be there.
Yeah,
but that will come eventually.
I mean, I think it was that game where I can't remember the nine's name, but passed it straight to him and he's looking the other direction. Yeah. Oh, is it the right game I'm thinking of?
Yeah, because he thought it was going to 12 trees.
It's simple backs move they've done hundreds of times in training. It just shows how new of a pair that is. Yeah. But when it's gelled fully, I think it could be quite solid. Hastings is going to be better.
He's a very
for
good rugby player.
I think he's going to be better for Gloucester than Cipriani.
I agree.
I think I don't want to say I don't particularly know the Gloucester style fully well, but I just think Adam Hastings I can see being much more consistent, solid. He does the right 10.
He does all the basics very well, Adam Hastings.
Yeah, very well.
Yeah, he's. We said at the first podcast he's a good signing for them, and he's. This sentence got away from me. I don't know where I was going with it.
We'll fill it in.
He had something. Yeah. But look, he did have a decent game, but it was just that he seemed a bit out of sync.
Yeah,
but that's going to come
be
over
expected,
time.
Though.
Yeah, but the Chiefs were able to pull off a victory.
Any standout players for the Chiefs? You would say. I was pleased to see Jack Noel back in action, definitely. Yeah. I mean, he's one of my favourite wingers. When he's in form and playing well, I just love the way he plays. Yeah. I don't think he was... There was a few times where I thought almost simple mistakes he made and opportunities that he butchered.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it didn't come back to bite them in the end. He still had a very good game.
No.
On the whole.
Is that a win that the Chiefs needed?
I mean, I think you could say so.
After their performance against Irish?
Yeah. You'd have to say if they lost to Irish, then lost to Gloucester. That's a deep rut to get out of.
They didn't exactly play well, the Chiefs.
No.
But they were able to grind out a win.
And that's important as well.
Yeah.
That's synonymous with teams like you've seen Bristol when they were down to Sam Bedlow at 10 last season. They can't do it this season, but not yet, not that we've seen.
Yeah.
And that's the typical Sarries I think of.
Knowing how to win.
Know how to win games. I wouldn't say that's quite Chiefs at that point.
But grinding out that win was...
Yeah, they got the win, and I mean, at the end of the day, it's a result. The only thing they could have got better is 3 more. Well, or 4 tries in total.
Well, they take it back down here to Devon next week when they play the Newcastle Falcons. Should we move on to the East Midlands derby then?
Yes, Saints Tigers. Oh, what a game and what a player.
George Ford.
You know who I'm going to say. I was watching that game with my dad, actually, in the living room, and I was like, we were watching it, and especially the second half, which is like, George Ford is an incredible player.
That's right. How is he not in the England team?
We were just sat there admiring George Ford. Then nine gets sent off. It was rightful sending off.
Yeah.
It was fills in at 9, puts in one of the most pinpoint drop kicks right on the touchline, puts them under pressure.
Was it in the... Hold on, we'll get on to the drop. I'd want to drop kick in a second. I want to talk about... Was it in the first half? It's 50-22 from the free kick.
Oh, that was...
Oh, my God.
Stupendous.
I actually can't believe he did that.
Stupendous. Yeah, that was another thing. We were just like... we were just in awe of George Ford. And a player like that... playing that well, not in the England squad.
I mean, it's
massive for Leicester.
It's one of the best fly half performances I've ever seen. George Ford has been very, very good all season,
but
so
not
far.
often does he do so many things that stand out as well.
No,
he's a very good player at making his whole team play well.
Yeah.
But I mean, when you have him standing out like that, it's just another level.
And then a drop goal from 42 metres.
And it's so genius as well. The context of the game. They were down 2 men, weren't they?
Yeah, they were at 13.
They were down 2 men. He's just keep the scoreboard ticking over. Straight from a try line dropout, they kick it long. He catches the ball, the perfect time to do a drop goal. If he can do it, I did see in the Bristol game. I watched back the Bristol game. Sheedy attempted something similar. Was very wonky and didn't work. But we'll get onto that in the Bristol game. But. No, it was just genius. It kept the scoreboard tick. He kept that yellow. He managed that yellow card period so well.
Yeah,
that double yellow.
I mean, I just can't get over how.
And his box kicking. Since when could he box kick as well?
I know. I mean, how is he not in the England team?
Yeah.
How is he not? Look, Marcus Smith is brilliant, and rightfully so. There's a lot of hype around him.
Not even on the bench though.
No, I don't get it.
The only thing is, who do you replace?
Yeah.
You can't really keep Smith out, I wouldn't say.
No, well,
not for much longer.
Steve Borthwick will certainly be hoping that both Farrell and Smith stay fit this
definitely.
autumn because having him in that Leicester squad,
it's going to be massive. I think it could. I mean, will he take a Premiership win in Leicester? That club he's given so many years to. Has he won with Leicester yet in the Premiership? I don't think he.
20. The game where Dylan Hartley got sent off in the Premiership final.
He was in.
Yeah, he was in that. Yeah. So he won that whatever year that was. 20.
Do you think he'd take that over England pick?
What, winning a Premiership over?
Yeah.
So either stay out of the England team for a year,
and maybe miss out on a Six Nations win,
but win the Premiership. It would.
I mean, I think it doesn't. He can't change the both, so he'll take.
No. He can only do what's in his control, and that is putting in a flawless performance at 10 and guiding Tigers to a massive win on Derby Day.
Yeah, and I would say the scoreline isn't as descriptive of the game. I would have said Saints.
56-54.
There was a time where you felt Saints were almost favourites to come back.
Yeah.
With the double yellow card, but. I mean, it was George Ford's management of that period, among many other things, that meant that didn't come back to that didn't come to fruition, basically. But
I mean, you could see George Ford's sort of highlights from that game on a dodgy Russian website.
You really could.
His performance at that game is making No Nut November very difficult, Kieran.
Your words, not mine.
But we could go on for hours and hours and hours about how good George Ford is and how good that performance was. But I think we should move on.
Yes.
Not that I necessarily want to Bath against Wasps at the Rec. Bath lost 17-27.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't watch. I watched the highlights.
Yeah,
because that's what I could watch.
I just am at a loss, Kieran. We are.
It's not too bad. It's not like
it's not
demolition.
We've lost our opening 6 games.
Yeah.
We're in autumn and.
You're glad there's no relegation, I'm guessing.
Very grateful.
Or would relegation push your players to really, really fight? Because you've got good players still.
We do, and you. What's going wrong?
I mean, on the highlight. What a worldy finish from Rocketaguni in the corner.
Yeah. Do you know what, though? Both of Bath's tries were good.
Yeah.
The first one from de Glanville, that line and the pace he showed. It was
great, yeah.
What a try. But that Rocketaguni finish, was really, really good. But do you know what? For Bath, big players aren't performing. Cipriani's not performing.
No, and would you still take him out of the squad? Or
Yeah,
out the
I still have Orlando Bailey starting 10.
Yeah.
Jonathan Joseph isn't performing. He's been out of the squad the last 2 weeks. And do you know what? Max Clark had a very good game at outside centre.
Yeah.
And I quite like Max Clark, so I don't see why that should change.
Yeah.
Jonathan Joseph doesn't get an automatic spot just because he has a lot of caps for England.
Well, yeah,
He's not been playing his best rugby for some time now. It's why he's out of the England squad, and it's why he's out of the Bath squad.
Yeah.
He's probably just biding his time till he moves to France at the end of the season, which is probably going to happen.
The money move.
Yeah. I mean, he's getting older. He's probably not going to get picked for England again. Why not go to France and make a load of money? Well, I don't want him to, because I do like Jonathan Joseph, but...
Yeah.
You know, I'd question...
Or go to the...
MLR. No, he's too young for that.
Is he?
Yeah.
Could he be what MLR? He could be the poster boy for the MLR.
Nah, he could do a few seasons in France, make a load of money, then go to the MLR.
Yeah.
But...
The place where all the old European rugby players...
Yeah, but... Big players aren't performing for Bath. The red card.
Yes.
Was it red?
I'd have... it's...
I don't think it was.
Red.
I don't think it was.
For player safety, I'd rather it be a red than a yellow.
But the thing is, it isn't actually Mike Williams... Well, Mike Williams knocks Will Muir's hand into Gopperth's head.
Yeah.
Also, what else is Mike Williams supposed to do? Are you telling me...
Whenever you say Mike Williams, there is this Dutch DJ called Mike Williams, and he's nothing like a prop. But every time... Or second row, sorry. But every time, I can't get the image out of my head of that Dutch DJ. If anyone out there knows playing rugby, they'll be laughing. It's a very funny image to imagine.
Well, you know, this Mike Williams, Bath second row, qualifies for Zimbabwe.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But anyway...
Won't see him at the World Cup then.
No. I don't see how he could get any lower.
Yeah.
It's not a case of he can't go in because he has to go in. He has to go and clear out. It'd be criminal if he didn't try and clear out. I mean, he'd have the fans on his back. He'd have the coaches on his back. It would. I don't think it should have been a red.
I can't fully remember So was it? It was in a jackal.
Yeah, Gopperth was over it.
Is it? What happened to the law with shoulders above hips? I mean, it never has really applied to the jackal, but should it? Or
look, this just on the red. It's a harsh red.
Yeah.
Now I already don't like Ian Tempest. He was refereeing.
I don't mind him. He's not my least favourite.
No,
we can get on to another issue.
I don't like him, but he's not. He's not getting his way into my good books. The thing is, Mike Williams will have his disciplinary hearing this week.
Yeah.
And you have to ask yourself here, if it's marginal, probably shouldn't have been a red, or at least in my eyes. Do you then try and appeal it? But the thing is, if you find guilty, you get a longer ban than if you just said, I'll take the red.
It's kind of backwards, because you can't have a discussion.
But then at the same time, Bath have... With Charlie Yules out and Mike Williams out, we have 1 second row.
How?
We have...
Are they all injured?
No.
Or you just don't have any?
In our squad, we have 3 second rows.
That's stupid.
We have Tom Ellis, who plays flank, who can cover there, but he's not a proper second row.
That is crazy.
It's ridiculous. I don't know, but overall, this was said in the Telegraph that the saddest thing about it was there was a sigh of relief when Wasps kicked the ball out instead of going for a 4th try.
Yeah,
it's not good. They're winless after 6 games. Do changes have to be made at the top?
I mean, I've said this before. I think yes. You've got to at this point. Hooper's had enough chance. You've at least got to bring someone else in to try and do something else. But if you're not doing anything, it's clearly not working out.
There was a big letter sent out this week from Bath Rugby.
Yeah.
Talking about how November's going to be very much a month of reflection and consultation. Because, of course, we only got this weekend. Well, we got this weekend's games. Then we've got Premiership Rugby Cup. No one cares about that. Then we have a bye week. And then we have one game at the end of the month, one round at the end of the month. Which, by the way, we're playing Exeter in that game.
I hope they don't just sit and reflect and they actually get out and do some
Well,
training.
by reflecting, it was very much... I'm very much hoping we'll just tear up everything that's happened so far. Hit the reset button.
You sort of need to. There's not much memorabilia to keep that.
It is
not many good memories for the Bath supporters.
It is not a good time at the Rec currently. No. Really not. But anyway,
we'll move on.
Let's move on so that I don't fall into a big depression.
And I go to the high of my Premiership season so far to discuss Bristol beating London Irish. Finally a win for the Bears, 45-33 to Bristol.
Yeah.
Lovely. Away win.
What more could you want?
Overdue from the Bears, you'd have to say.
Yeah.
They've not put in great performances, but they've not got Randall. They've not got Randrandra.
Mm-hmm.
Two fairly key players, although Uren is quite class as well. He put in a lovely 50-22 kick, I have to say.
Yeah.
Brilliant vision from then. But, I mean, the opening 20 minutes, classic Bristol, I felt.
Fast start, going 19-0 up.
Yeah, I mean...
Very, very good.
It still had me worried because against Irish, we have before given away.
Yeah. And then you went down to 13 and you did.
Yes. Talking about the going down to 13, the yellow cards.
Mm-hmm.
Something happened to Matthew Carley, I think the referee was. Something happened that morning. He left that bed with a vengeance against something. The whole way he was speaking to the players, he was like, anytime any player, he's like, no, you did this wrong, listen to me. He's like trying to educate them. And it's like, even when no one asked, one asked him anything, and he's like, he's over-explaining everything. Like he's just had a pissed off sound. Like, I don't know, someone messed it around in his sock drawer, or something, I don't know. This morning,
They changed the layout in Sainsbury's and that's pissed him off for the rest of the week.
He could only find a left sock and a left sock instead of a left sock and a right sock or something. But he was just annoyed in that game, I felt. I felt that Andy... Did you see the Andy Uren yellow card?
No, I didn't.
Because I think he's tackled... What? I can't remember if he was the tackler. No, I don't think he was the tackler, but someone's tackled.
Yeah.
He goes back onto onside, quite clearly.
Yeah.
He's going to go through the gate, so he goes in. Ball's picked up, so he's allowed to go. I don't think it should have been a yellow. The Charles Piatow one, marginal. He does, if you look at it, go with two hands, but it's deliberate knock on in attacking space. Once you've established it's deliberate, I guess you've got to give him a yellow.
And there's the line break that's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, that is more the context thing. If you look, there is an intercept on, but I'm not going to blame them for giving a yellow.
Yeah.
The other one was just multiple warnings from the team.
Yeah.
Pretty standard. But they managed to weather that going down to 12 men. I mean, if you look 13. At that try Irish score, was 13. They had 3 at one point. 3 yellow cards.
They?
Yeah, they had Heenan, I believe it was, Charles Piatow and Andy Uren.
All right, well, down to 12, yeah.
That's when Irish scored, and they didn't score through width. They scored through just scoring off a maul move, which probably would have got us anyway by the looks of it, because of the way that they got it. But Sheedy didn't quite fit in at 9 like George Ford did. But they weathered that storm very well for being down to 12 men. The Irish didn't make a massive comeback. Most of it was at the end after they'd gone clear, and Bristol had all their numbers back.
Yeah. And most importantly, after that 10-minute period, Irish weren't able to build on from getting back level.
No, they didn't have any momentum, really, and I felt it was very promising for Bristol. I was very happy with it. If they sort out their discipline, I think they could be back up to consistently beating teams. I mean, they did you see Jack Bates try?
I did see it.
Lovely length of the field. The highlights didn't show the full try, so I don't know if you saw the full try.
No, I didn't. But
I watched the full game back on the replay, and it was absolutely beautiful. Length of it, I think it must have been 90-metre try.
Yeah. Just so you know, we went to school with Jack Bates, so claim to fame right there.
Lovely to see him getting in the Bristol squad.
Yeah.
It's a really big opportunity for him with O'Connor. Well, he's back fit now, but Bedlow's injured. Piatow's injured. Not Piatow. Randrandra. I don't know how I got those confused. Because I was thinking we got rid of Siani Pietau as well.
Yeah.
Big opportunity to step up for him, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
And he's obviously not a liability in defence like a lot of young players can be at this level.
Yeah.
Because in the games he started, we've actually conceded not a massive amount. I mean, we did here, but when it mattered, it was a very dominant point at Bristol.
Yeah. Also on London Irish, we were asking last week, or thinking a lot of people were, with their win against the Exeter Chiefs at Sandy Park, is that going to be a turning point for them?
Yeah.
But it seems they went back to how they sort of started the season, where they have a poor start and they end up chasing the game for the rest of it.
Yeah.
And so falling to a 33-45 defeat to the Bears.
Yeah, I don't think there's too much more to say apart from Bristol-Worcester, which links into the next game nicely.
Yes, it does.
It's going to be an interesting game. If Worcester keep up form against Sale, well, I say form, they've won a game against Sale. Now, is that a turning point for them?
Kieran, let me ask
Bristol.
you. Last 2 weeks, we've sort of ripped into Worcester. I wouldn't say ripped in, but we've certainly made a point about how they get dicked
I think
every
they're
week.
listening into our podcast and taking our advice.
Or did Sale just do this on purpose just to piss us off?
I mean,
just to make us look like idiots? Did Sale lose on purpose?
Just like all the rugby news writers are, just waiting until everyone's doing with the news, waiting until after we film the episode.
Yeah, exactly. They're just all there to undermine us, Kieran.
Yeah.
We got to start recording on Tuesdays, not Mondays. But anyway, Worcester won. They actually won, and I know that's pretty rich coming from a Bath fan.
I mean, if any other team was in that rut of form and they won, I'd be so happy for them.
Yeah.
But I must admit, and you hear me say this now, I have a deep-rooted hatred for Worcester. I've said this before to Hugh. And
this won't be the last time you hear this on the podcast, by the way.
No.
He'll say it every other week.
It all came from when it was in the Championship.
Yeah.
And we should have had promotion. We beat them both games of the season. Arch rivals. They beat us by 1 point in our home leg, and then we were beating them 14 points. It was 7 minutes to go. Wayne Barnes, I think it was Wayne Barnes, was like, nah, you can have.
Oh, well done dropping your pen.
Yeah. Wayne Barnes gives us 2 yellow cards, I think it was.
Yeah.
And they come back and level it, and that was one of the worst days at a rugby ground. And so, there. Long backstory. Well, not really. Long story short.
But anyway, let's move on through your deep-rooted hatred of them. And let's talk about some of the positives for them. Positive number 1, Shilcock had a very good game at fullback.
Yep. Van der Merwe as well. He was very...
Yes. Proper Van der Merwe stuff. Yeah. His second try was... Can we start with the bloody handoff from Shilcock?
Yeah.
What a handoff.
Nathan Hughes-esque, I would have to say.
Yeah. You'd think he was about 87 stone, but no, he's a little fullback. And then with the lovely offload, flick out the back to do on Van der Merwe, who starts running around like a South African Jonah Lomu.
Yeah.
Just bouncing off Sale defenders and...
Typical attacking Van der Merwe.
With the speed, he looked unstoppable and had an excellent game. Worcester winning is... Well, it's a rarity.
It's a weird feeling, actually.
It is a weird feeling.
I mean, they've done it twice this season.
Yeah, I know.
That's 2 more than Bath, so...
Well, it's the same amount as Bristol, so...
Yes, I was very annoyed when I saw the score. I was following the Bristol game online because, that's all you can do these days.
Yeah,
but
BT Sport.
I think it's Premiership Rugby more. I think, but... Yeah, and then it's sort of... It's the only sour I took from the Bristol win. It's like Worcester also won, so we made no ground at all.
Well,
a win's a win.
You widen the gap from Bath at the bottom of the league.
I mean, yeah, that's always good.
Oh my God, we're bottom after 6 games. Sorry, I don't want to get back. Move on.
But no, I mean, Sale. I didn't watch the game. I don't know.
They have no with their first two choice scrum halves both out. Faf de Klerk obviously injured, and Rafi Quirk with England. They really lack experience in the scrum half position, and they lack the partnerships. They really need AJ McGinty back. He was on the bench this weekend, but it was Dupree who started. But they need McGinty back. He's gonna add so much to that team.
I looked at the highlights, and defensively they just had gaps.
And the likes of Shilcock and Van der Merwe were just exploiting them. Yeah. But so poor from Sale.
Not much to say apart from I'm in shock.
Absolute shock, but poor from Sale, good from Worcester.
Yeah, I mean you can't take much negatives out of it, and it's good to get the crowd I saw at the end on the highlights. They were absolutely and it's good they have something to cheer about finally. Because I can imagine all those days when I was supporting Bristol in the Championship, no promotion, not much to cheer about. So I'm glad they got something to cheer about.
Yes, they do. But that brings an end to Saturday's action. And if we move on to Sunday's game,
London,
the champions against the favourites in a lovely London derby.
I still can't call Sarah's the favourites. They're not my favourites.
They're the bookies' favourites.
Well, they shouldn't be because they just got promoted from the Championship.
But they've won 5 games out of 6.
Well, Leicester have won 6 out of 6.
7 out of 7, Leicester have.
Well, 7
they
out of 7.
haven't had their bye week yet.
Oh, of course.
But, if we start with... Quins looked very good in the first half.
Yeah.
Tommy Allen with some lovely, very flat passes.
I did say to Hugh before we started this episode, we'll call them the flattest passes. No, they were both...
But since they were deemed flat, they were very good passes.
Yeah, I'm happy they stuck because they were very good passes. The second one I feel was definitely forward. But the first one, it's a very long pass. You can't expect... You've got to give a little... It's like a not straight line. You give a little bit of margin.
But it is an incredible pass.
It was very good, yeah.
And very well finished by Murley. Anyway, then after the first half, in the second half, they only scored 3 points from a Danny Kerr drop goal.
They didn't show on the highlights.
Yeah, I know they didn't.
Why would you show a drop goal, one of the rarest things to see this day in rugby?
From Danny Kerr as well.
Yeah, on the highlight. It's crazy. Who would want to show that? Who would want to actually see that? Which rugby fan will want to see that? Apart from every single one in the world.
Exactly. But Saracens, throughout the game, they took their points. And they scored in the 75th minute.
I never like it when a team is beating another team on penalties. So you've got Sarries, say they've got 15 points on penalties, and then Quins have 14 from tries. They didn't have that in the game. It was something similar there. But never like to see it. But if it wins you games, it gets you points, and it's always the other team is there in ill discipline.
Rugby is not won by the team who scores the most tries. It's won by the team who scores the most points.
Well, exactly, yeah.
Saracens take their points when they're on offer.
Yeah.
They are very clinical when they do get their opportunities to score tries, and they come away with a, you have to say, massive win in the context of the season.
Yeah.
But I think you're gonna be thinking that Quins and Sarries are both going to be up there fighting for playoff spots at the end of the season. Yeah. So
do we dare do a top 4 prediction?
Not yet, because we're still early on. It's still forming this season. Other than you have to say Leicester, who are looking.
Yeah, but, I have my top 4 on my top 3, I think.
But Sarries, God, I hate Sarries. Yeah. As does everyone apart from their 6 fans.
Did you hear the booing at the end?
Yeah,
they were getting booed. And I don't see why. They're a rugby team. They've beaten your team. There wasn't a controversial ref decision that I'm aware of at the end.
Yeah, but I would say there was a.
No one ever boos.
Yeah, but it's Saracens.
Yeah,
who actually cheat. So.
Well, proven, and I don't see who they've gotten rid of to stop them from cheating.
But hey ho. But regardless of what you think of them and the club, they are a very good rugby team.
Yeah.
I said this when we talked always New Zealand. Nick Tompkins, I thought, had a very good game at 12. Yeah. I thought he had a very good... He's had a good season so far. And he got that crucial turnover in the last play.
Yeah.
When Quins are on the attack, built up like 14 phases, they're in the 22. What a crucial turnover from Nick Tompkins to win the game for Saracens.
I saw, sorry, going a bit off topic, Sheedy got a jackal at the weekend.
Shut up!
I need to get the footage of Sheedy getting a jackal. He got a jackal at the weekend.
You got to put it on the Instagram Reels.
I must.
That's
you
incredible.
never see that. You never see a 10 like that.
No.
A jackal.
No, but okay.
Yeah. Bit of if you didn't know, now you know.
Yeah.
But back to it.
Yeah, again, Nick Tompkins is a very good game. I said earlier, I think he should start at 12 for Wales this weekend. But I don't really know what more you can say about just...
A good game. Good, typical
game.
Sarries. I think just know how to win.
Just know how to win.
Clinical, ruthless. What other
boring
adjectives?
robotic efficiency.
Cheats,
yeah. Okay, anyway, that rounds up this week's games.
Oh, I've just looked. We're only halfway through our notes so far.
Yeah, exactly.
No, the predictions are obviously less.
Right, let's preview. We'll start with this week's internationals.
Ireland.
I'm so excited for Saturday.
I really want to watch that game.
My afternoon is going to be from 1 until about 10. Sat
Rugby
in front of the TV. If you do go to the Worcester game or not.
Yes, I don't know if I'll be here.
If you are here or not. If you're here, we're in the standoff the whole afternoon.
This local rugby pub near us.
We're there the whole afternoon.
Oh, we're
going bankrupt there.
No, now we know we get student discount.
Yeah, but we're still going bankrupt there by that strength. That's why, sitting down, just getting like a 10 pack or a 12 pack of beers, it's going to make more economic sense.
But like, it's a nice. I'd say sitting in a pub and watching the rugby is second to going to the stadium.
Oh, yeah. It is nice.
But and then you've got your at home watching it with.
But if we do that, we do. Or if I watch it.
But should be a good game.
Ireland, Japan. Japan. We're hopefully going to start seeing them get in their groove. Been a sort of in and out of international rugby, especially this year.
I always love a Japan game. I do.
They're great. It'll be interesting to see. I'd be interested to see what sort of side Ireland put out if they go full strength for they make changes. I think you have to put out full strength if you're Andy Farrell.
I want to see Johnny Sexton pick just for another Squid Rugby or about 5 Squid Rugby names.
Yeah, but if you're Andy Farrell, I think you have to put out a full strength side because this Japan team deserves a lot of respect.
You can't underestimate them.
No, you can't. You can't. But that should be a really good game. I won't ask you for a score prediction, but who do you reckon is going to win?
Because I'm sure you've got the same thing. You can't cause we've been watching rugby for a long time.
Yeah.
So you'd have to say Ireland to our brain.
You can't but
I want Japan to win.
Of course, everyone wants Japan to win.
I sense an upset. I'm going to go Japan.
Yeah, I'm going to be boring and say it's hard to bet against Ireland in Dublin.
Yeah, the Dublin thing is the main flaw in my hypothesis.
Yeah. So, but I think it'd be a great game, and I think it'd be. Actually, I think it could possibly be the closest game of the weekend.
Well, I don't know.
That is true. We'll get onto that in a bit. But in the men's game, it could possibly be the closest game of the weekend.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Next up, kicking off at the same time.
Do you not think Italy v New Zealand?
Kicking off at the same time as New Zealand. Garbeezy's going to take New Zealand to the cleaners. He's going to show Bowden Barrett what a real 10 plays like, and Italy are going to win it.
Yeah.
Well, Garbeezy's going to win it.
We get our hopes up.
Garbeezy's going to win it. Italy may lose, but Garbeezy will win.
No one will know, but, when England were in a bad spot, Italy became my resident team in the Six Nations. They're on the up, though. I feel New Zealand is the complete wrong team for them to play. They need to play your England, your Ireland, your Six Nations sides. But they need to play that level of side. Australia, I'd love to see an Italy-Australia.
That'd be good enough.
I think it would be...
Mind you, any game that Garbeezy's in is good.
Exactly.
So anyway, sort of quickly doing this one, but who's going to win?
New Zealand.
You can't not say New Zealand.
I'm not that stupid. I like predicting the upsets. Just on the odd occasion I'll get one right. But no, I can't.
No. Anyway, then we'll move on to the mid-afternoon kick-off. England against Tonga.
Judging by the Scotland game...
I think we know who's going to win.
Yeah.
no disrespect to
Quite
Tonga,
clearly.
but we know who's going to win. But it'd be interesting to see what sort of side Eddie Jones puts out.
I'm really intrigued because I think for this game especially, you can afford to put.
You can make changes.
It's the first game. You don't have to.
Marcus Smith has to play in it.
Yeah, I'm going to miss Randall not being able to play.
No, but I put Rafi Quirk play.
Yeah.
You got the opportunity to make changes in this throughout the team. Put some players in.
I think it's going to be really intriguing to see, and I think it's going to be a really fresh England side. So
Yeah.
really intrigued to see how they get on.
On the subject of England, Lewis Liner got called up today.
Yes, I'm not going to be opposed to that. I've really rated him.
Yeah, Eddie Jones saying hands off to the pesky Australians.
Yeah.
So then, do you just cap him against Tonga so Australia can't have him?
He might do, actually.
Actually, it's not a bad idea. But I'd like to see Joe Marchant playing that game. I'd like to see him at 13.
Yeah.
Like to see what he can do
Marchant
there.
and Smith might be
Marchant Smith, yeah.
at England level, at least, will be nice.
Yeah, definitely. Well, it works excellently for Quins.
Yeah.
So, predictions?
England. Come on.
England, you can't bet against it. Now, the game that I am most looking forward to, the tea time kickoff, Wales against the Springboks.
It's going to be a great game.
It is. I'm excited for it. Of course, Wales getting an English-based player, so Lewis Rees-Zammit coming back in. Hopefully, Liam Williams will be available. Dan Biggar went off with an injury scare at the weekend.
Yeah, I think what I heard last was that it wasn't horrible.
Yeah, but still a bit. So if he's available, he of course plays. But then, who would you pick if he isn't available? If I'm Wayne Pivac, I don't know if I'd pick Sheedy. I'd pick Priestland. I thought Priestland played.
I hope you don't pick Sheedy. Look after him. I don't want
to. You don't want Sheedy being surrounded by 6'9", 20 stone South Africans.
Yeah, just to play him against
Fiji.
Even New Zealand, Fiji, just any of those.
Not South Africa. Anyone but South Africa.
Yeah, they're gonna just munch him.
God, imagine if Sheedy was just running at Dwayne Vermeulen. Imagine I think Sheedy would die.
It's gonna be. It'll be worse than when Randall and Marcus Smith, if they ever play South Africa.
Yeah.
Imagine that. That's just.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
yeah.
No, it's gonna be a great game.
I'm really excited.
Not much more to say apart from it's gonna be interesting to see Wales with their England Premiership teams.
Yeah, of course. But of course, maybe probably without Alan Wynne-Jones, a bit of a shame.
Yeah.
Maybe Faletau comes back in, but he's had his ankle problems. But hopefully he's available. But I'm really excited for that game on Saturday, and I'll probably end up losing my voice during it. And that'll be just during the national anthems. Anyway, predictions for that then.
South Africa. I can't go against them. I think the way they've beaten the Lions already. I think.
Mind you, we were talking about this last week. Josh Adams saying that he thinks that Wales is better placed to beat South Africa than the Lions.
I did just think of that, but I don't know.
I think Wales have their injury problems.
They're going to get closer, but I think
Wales have their injury problems at the moment, which I think is going to let them down a bit. But I'm going to be really excited to see how Tame Basham gets on, especially after last week's performance. But that should be a really good game, and it's definitely not going to be a boring sort of thrashing. Yeah. It's going to be tight.
I hope so.
It's going to be tight. But anyway, have I said who I think will win?
Well, go on, say again.
Probably South Africa.
Yeah.
If I'm saying with my head, not my heart, South Africa. It's hard to bet against the world champions.
Next one.
The evening game is France-Argentina.
Again, I mean, I feel that's almost a classically good game.
I struggle with that in current context, though.
Yeah.
France, of course, playing very, very well.
Yeah, the France team is looking.
Argentina had they had a below par rugby championship. Yeah. I don't think they're looking their best. And at the World Cup when they met, it finished 23-21 to France. I think we could be seeing a bigger margin,
yeah.
That.
I think we're both gonna. I'm just gonna say the predictions now. I think we're both gonna agree on France.
Yeah, definitely. It's hard to look past this French team. But I'm gonna ask you, who do you start at 10 for France? Untermac or Jalibert?
Yeah. Is this true?
This is genuinely that I honestly don't know. This is such a difficult question, I think.
I'll say Intermac, but it's literally a toss or a coin.
It really is. Intermac's wonderful, but I love Jalibert.
Jalibert is...
Like, you pay to watch him.
It's flair.
You pay to watch him, don't you?
Yeah.
I mean, he is just...
Bring back Lionel Boxis, though.
Yeah. Well, he's like a better Lionel Boxis, Jalibert.
Lionel Boxis that isn't just stupid.
Yeah.
Well, no disrespect to Lionel Boxis.
No, but...
Stupid in the context of trying to do things that everyone wants to see and then just going wrong.
What I want to see is Jalibert at 10 and Smack at 12.
That'd be really weird.
Well, when Smack plays 12 for Toulouse...
Why not?
I don't think it is, because I do actually think in the France team it is, because I don't think they have enough balance in the centres. So it is either one or the other. You can't have both in.
But who? 40 minutes for one, 40 for the other.
It literally is a toss of the coin.
Yeah.
Because the last Six Nations, with Untac injured, Jalibert was incredible in it.
Yeah.
He was incredible, and he was incredible for Bordeaux in the Champions Cup last season. And we could go on about Jalibert like we went on about George Ford earlier.
Yeah.
But, you know, that'd be... Yeah, anyway, we went silent for a bit, but it'd be interesting to see who starts 10. And I don't necessarily know if it will actually be an interesting game. I don't know if I'm massively underestimating Argentina. And I hope it is, but we're not anymore in the era of you never know which French team's going to turn up. We know.
Yeah.
We practically know what French team's going to turn up. A very good attacking
apart from Intermac?
Yeah, apart from who's playing at 10.
Apart from the actual team sheet.
But we know we probably know how they're going to play.
Exactly.
Anyway, then we move on to Sunday's game. Murrayfield, Scotland against Australia.
It's going to be another great game.
That
it's
is
such a good game of weekend of games.
Six Nations, of course, the best time of year. But I love the autumn internationals.
It's Southern Hemisphere, Northern Hemisphere clash.
And when you got, how many games is that over the weekend? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 Tier 1 against Tier 1 games.
You don't get much like it apart from the World Cups.
No. This is... But... That's going to be interesting. Yeah. Because Scotland playing very well, of course, at the moment.
Yeah, and Australia...
Getting back in Finn Russell, yeah. And Australia on a 5-game win streak. It's difficult to call.
Yeah.
But, of course, Australia, no Quade Cooper. So, who do they start at 10? They'll probably put James O'Connor at 10.
Yeah.
But they're building nicely, Australia, at the moment.
Yeah.
And it's good to have a nice Wallabies team. I think
predict it. I think Scotland.
I put that down to Murrayfield though.
Yeah,
it's going to carry them through. It's going to be a tight game, and Scotland will just nick it.
Yeah,
and it's going to be because of Murrayfield.
It's going to be a very close game.
Yeah. Anyway, that is the men's game. Then let's move on to what is probably again the most important game of the weekend.
Yeah.
England women against New Zealand women again.
2 weeks in a row though.
Well, it's building for the World Cup next year, isn't it? What better way to build than to play your biggest rivals for it? Well, them two and France are the favourites for it.
Yeah.
But what better way to prepare for the World Cup than playing your closest rivals to it?
Yeah, I mean, you'd be silly to not just predict the same as this week, but...
Yeah, I would say an England win again.
Yeah.
But I think closer.
Closer, because they know each other's strategies more.
Yeah, but New Zealand have been able to get the cobwebs out of the system.
Yeah.
So I think we'll see a much more stereotypical Black Ferns performance.
Yeah.
So, yeah, both predict England for that then.
Yeah.
So, that rounds up the internationals.
Yeah.
Let's move on to next week's, which is the last Premiership game until the end of the month.
Do we go over
Let's go over last week's predictions first. Let's go after those.
I did take a sneak peek.
Put the scoreboard down.
As always,
read them out.
I keep these, and Hugh probably doesn't remember them.
No, how could I remember them?
I'm going to remember.
I forget them about 30 seconds after I say them.
So I don't think these are quite in the same order as we went through the games, but I think they're the same days, so it's fine.
Okay.
So Gloucester v Chiefs.
Yeah.
Hugh, you said Chiefs by 6. So that's 0 points for you. But I went with I'm very annoyed at this.
What?
Gloucester by 4. I'm 1 point off.
No, you're not. Chiefs won, not Gloucester.
Oh, did they? Oh.
Yeah, so shut up about 0 points for me. 0 points for you.
I read the score sheet wrong, that's all.
Yeah.
Damn. I was 1 point off on the...
Yeah, okay.
Bath v Wasps.
Yeah.
You said Wasps by 9.
Oh!
I said Wasps by 13.
Oh, God!
We were both fairly close, actually.
Yeah.
But, next game, Irish v Bears.
Mm-hmm.
You predicted Irish to win.
Ah,
You said Irish by 1. I said Bristol by 2. How wrong we were both, but I got it less wrong than you.
Come on. Okay.
Saints v Tigers.
Yeah.
Saints by 5, you said.
I should have had more faith in George Ford.
I said Tigers by 6.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't near that in the end. But yeah.
Should have had more faith in George Ford. Which is weird, because I have a lot of faith in George Ford.
There was the Warriors Cell game. You predicted Cell by 24. I predicted Cell by 31. It's incredibly far.
They were definitely listening and thought of a way to undermine us. You bastards.
Quins v Sarries.
Yeah.
You said Sarries by 4. I said Sarries by 12.
Ooh.
Both very close.
Yeah, very
closer
close.
than me. But at the end of that, we've both picked up a hefty amount of points. There 1 point in it between us two.
Okay. Well then.
But now we have the outlandish predictions.
Oh, yeah.
Did you remember that? Did you forget about these?
Yeah, I did. But I remembered one of them. I said a loose head prop to wear leggings, didn't I?
Well, yeah, we'll make our next ones after this.
Yeah.
These after the rest of the games. But so you said yes, a weekend without a scrum half being a prick. How do we judge that?
I mean, we had what? 2 scrum halves ended up getting yellows. By the way.
Oh yeah, I think that's fair enough to say no. Right?
Yeah, it was a far fetch. It was a very far fetch. But okay.
So yeah, and your other one, as you said, was a loose head prop will wear leggings.
Don't think anyone wore leggings this weekend.
No, I didn't see any.
No, with the absence of Johnny May and Max Malins.
Yeah, I said that Johan Lloyd will do a chip and chase regather try.
Did Johan Lloyd even play?
He was on the team sheet. I think he came on for a minute.
Okay.
He didn't get that, so no.
No.
Then I said 4 players in 1 match will be wearing leggings.
Yeah, that's disappointing.
These are outlandish.
They are outlandish.
And if we get one true, it's a miracle, and we'll clip it forever and milk it for all years to come.
For all eternity.
Yeah.
Okay then. Well, should we move on?
We did also have international predictions for New Zealand World.
Oh, did we? What did we say for that?
I said we're not going to count these, but I said New Zealand by 15. You went for an exact score.
Yeah.
You went Wales 22.
Yeah.
And New Zealand 44.
Yeah.
So
not awful prediction.
You're 1 point off. Well, no.
No, I wasn't. But not an awful prediction.
I thought I read the wrong score again. I'm not very good at this.
Yeah, you're not. Not an awful prediction. But anyway.
Predictions for the next week's.
Yes. So
I must quickly scribble these games down. But
if we start with the Friday night game.
Yes.
On Bonfire Night. Welford Road. Leicester Tigers against Bath.
Yeah. Usually I want to say it's going to be a close game because it's a big game usually.
Yeah.
Bath v Tigers, but I can't say it's going to be a close game because Bath bottom with 0 wins.
Yeah.
And Tigers are top with all their wins.
Yeah.
So shall I just dive straight in for a score prediction?
Yeah. Tigers by how many, Keir?
Tigers by... I'm going to give you faith, I'm going to faith in about 20.
All right. Okay. Do you know what? I'm going to go for an outlandish prediction.
Oh, you're going for a bad
I'm going to have faith. This is the week that I'm going to have faith. We're going to turn our season around. We're going to pull the upset of the century off. And Bath are going to win by 1 point.
1 point. I would love to see that game, actually.
God, this is actually stupid. That's a stupid prediction. But that's what I'm saying. It's going to happen. Come on!
Next game is Bristol v Worcester.
Yeah.
Interesting game. So how do you see that going?
Last season it would have been easy, but this season it isn't.
Yeah.
I don't have much faith in Worcester though, so I'm going to go Bristol by 18.
All right.
How about you?
Where's by 18?
Yeah.
I'm going to go... I think it's a one-off for Worcester, really.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Bristol, but by 17.
Okay.
I can't... You're around the right margin, I have to say.
Yeah. Okay.
So next, we got Sarries Irish.
Yeah, what do you reckon there?
Oh, I wonder. I'm going to go Sarries.
Remember a few weeks ago when we were predicting Exeter against London Irish?
Yeah. Sarries by... I think this is going to be the biggest win of the weekend.
Okay.
I'd say 31.
31?
It's quite out there, but...
Yeah.
What are you thinking?
I am going to say, I reckon it's hard to bet against Sarries. I'm going to go Sarries by 21.
Sarries by 21, he says.
Yeah. So if we move on then to the next game, which is Sale Sharks against Northampton Saints. My turn to go first, I believe, on this one.
I think so.
It's that the AJ Bell is a very difficult place to go and win. A very difficult place.
Yeah.
And for that reason, I'm going to have to say Sale Sharks by 8.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
I think this is a good prediction. I think... I don't know how I see this going. It's weird from Sharks.
Yeah.
With that loss against Worcester, I'm gonna back Saints. Why not?
All right. Okay.
Saints by, and Saints don't do many small margins.
No.
But I'm gonna go 4.
Okay. That's okay. If we move on then to the final game on Saturday, Exeter against Newcastle Falcons.
Again, quite close.
Really?
But I'd go with Chiefs.
Mm.
I'm gonna go Chiefs by. I said close. I'm gonna go 11.
Okay. I think when this fixture was played last season, it finished like 72-5 to Exeter.
Yeah.
But we don't have the same Exeter team at the moment.
No, and we've got a different Irish team.
Yeah.
Well, not Irish, Falcons.
I think it's hard to bet against Exeter.
Yeah.
Well, we say that every week this season. So far, that's proved to be an inconsistent prediction.
Yeah.
But I would probably say Exeter by 16.
16.
Yeah.
Solid. Now, finally,
On a Sunday, Wasps against Quins.
is it?
Yeah, it's my turn to go first. Quins have some troubles at 10. Smith's it on England duty. Tommy Allen's out, injured. That could be difficult.
Huge, actually. It's going to be huge.
And Wasps...
Who's their other 10? An unknown.
Yeah. Wasps have a good team. And... I'm going to say Wasps by 3. Yeah, Wasps by 3.
I'm also going Wasp. Because I think what I've seen from Quinn so far hinges a lot on their 10's performance.
Yeah.
And not having that is going to be absolutely massive.
The autumn's going to be undoing of this Quinn side.
I think it will be. I'm going Wasps by 5.
Wasps by 5? Very interesting. Okay, then.
Outlandish predictions time.
Right, outlandish predictions.
I need some time to think of these again.
Right, I can go in with one right now. In the Italy-New Zealand game, Bowden Barrett is going to kiss Paolo Garbisi's right boot.
What? No, that's not happening.
It's an outlandish prediction, Kieran.
So Bowden B...
I'm not going to say specific right. Bowden Barrett is going to kiss Garbisi's boots.
I have to write these by hands because I don't have my computer, but...
Bowden Barrett will kiss Garbisi's boots. And I don't even think this is outlandish. I think this is guaranteed to happen. It's Paolo Garbisi. How could it not happen?
All right, and is your second one, or do you want me to do one?
Yeah, I'll go for a second one. I'll go with a Premiership one here. And I reckon London Irish tight head will attempt to chip and chase.
If anyone's going to do it, I feel the London Irish ones. Actually,
I don't know. These are outlandish for a reason.
Specifically a tight head, just not just a prop.
No, I'll go any prop. Either prop.
Right.
Well, sorry, I have to make you rub that out. But it would be outlandish if a prop did.
It will be.
Yeah. I think those are good outlandish predictions.
And now I've got to go very outlandish too.
Yeah, you do.
I'm going to go Premiership for both. I don't know actually yet. The first one I'll do Premiership for.
All right.
I'm just going to look at the games.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm really unsure on what to do here.
You've got to come up with an idea, Keir.
Yes, I will. I think Johan van der Merwe
won't be playing.
Will,
so this would be outlandish.
He won't be playing for Scotland.
He will be playing for Scotland.
Oh, damn. He'll be playing in two places at once, there's my prediction.
All right, then.
No. I think Bath are going to score.
Yeah.
Right at the start, that's very outlandish, I understand. Bath are going to score a 90-metre try, 80-metre plus try.
Okay.
Involving minimum 3 offloads.
Ooh.
Is that outlandish enough?
That's outlandish.
So, Bath.
Yeah.
Just writing it down. Hang on. 80-metre try. I'd love it to happen because you love a good try.
It'd be quite something.
Try, including 3 offloads.
That is a good outlandish prediction.
And an offload, just so I say it now, it counts as an out the back little pass.
Yeah.
Counts as like off the floor.
Yeah.
Any offload.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be specific.
No.
And then I might go with an international one.
Yeah, go on then.
Oh.
I think so. We got some good games this weekend, so...
Yeah, but I don't know what to predict for the outlandish part of it. I think Japan...
Yeah.
Going to do a 50-22.
Yeah.
And in the following maul...
Yeah.
They're going to maul Ireland over the line.
That's... Okay.
Japan aren't a mauling team at all.
No, they're not.
So that's what makes it outlandish.
Yes, it certainly does. Okay.
Japan, 50-22, and
Maul Island.
Score following maul.
Okay, then.
And the following maul means like the same line.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
I think they're very good outlandish predictions for both of us.
Yeah, they definitely are. So,
you set the bar very high for
with very outlandish predictions.
Yeah, so I had to match them, I feel.
Yeah, but anyway,
we've reached the over an hour and 15 minute.
Yeah, we've reached the end of our.
How long is it before we change our name to Rugby Hour
and a quarter, and
then in brackets and a quarter? Just
put in faint writing an apostrophe and an S to Rugby Hours.
Yeah.
But anyway, that brings this week's podcast to a close. So thank you very much for putting up with us for over an hour.
Listening to us ramble.
Yeah. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at The Rugby Hour, TikTok as well at The Rugby Hour.
And should we make a Twitter?
Yeah.
Let us know if you got this far. No one commented about, what was it last time we said, we asked them to comment about...
Oh, yeah! What? Oh, I can't even remember. But nobody did it, so... But anyway...
How much you would pay for Johnny May's leggings?
Yeah. But, so thank you for listening. And I suppose we'll talk to you next week.
Yeah, talk to you next week. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.